Hello and welcome back to another Line Rider tutorial. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Aether Gaming. How you doing?
Fine.
Awesome. And we will be teaching y'all, well he'll be teaching y'all because I'm not particularly good at these, so he'll probably be teaching me a bit too, how to make these very useful and wonderful 10-point cannons. So, Aether, what's the first thing we should be doing?
Well, first you should determine where Bosch wants to be. So if you just quickly turn on onion skinning, as you can see here, in the next frame, he is over here. Let me just quickly grab scenery lines. As you can see, this is Bosch in the next frame.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you want him, for some reason, over here. Then what you should do is you make a line from the middle of Bosch to the middle where he should be, and from the middle of Bosch in the next frame to that same point. Now next up you just grab any Excel line and draw over the second green line, and then you can get started. Now if, as you can see, he doesn't get affected because his momentum vectors are going against the gravity well, you just invert the line and that's it.
Sure.
Just
I mean, I guess like you could also do that, like just pick a direction and then just open up the multi-line menu, change the multi-lines to 10, and then you can just drag out perfect copies of the same line.
yeah, but if he's going the wrong direction, like against the gravity well, he won't be affected, of course.
Sure.
So you have to invert the line. Then you just go to iteration 1, get these extremely small lines, preferably 0.01, and you just paste them to every contact point. So I'll just do that real quick.
Do you always start with them as small as possible, or do you start big and then shrink them down?
I just do as small as possible because it life lock makes everything so much easier.
Right. And do we want to talk about, obviously, the hands and the feet will often need to be separated. So should we talk about that in the iterations?
Yeah, of course you have to go to iteration 1 first, but the hands and the feet shouldn't be a problem with really small lines. And if they are, you will just have to make sure all the other contact points don't get hit twice in a future iteration. And then in the iteration 2, you can just do the hands and feet because they will be split.
Yeah, it seems as soon as you get to that point, they do split.
You'll also have to make sure your lines are actually multi-lineable. Because, well, if they aren't, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah. So is that something you do after you make sure you've grabbed every point first, or do you test each one as you go along? Because I find depending on where you place your
I do it per iteration, so I'll complete all the contact points in the iteration, and then check if they can be multi-lined.
right.
As you can see, the top of the back can actually be multi-lined here.
Yeah.
So are you at the point where every iteration, every contact point has been grabbed?
Almost.
I'll just quickly make sure none of my contact points get hit twice. Seems good.
Okay, I think I have every one of them. Let me,
I'm still in iteration 1.
I'm gonna check though, because it looks like they're in different positions after the frame goes by. Let's see if they actually do anything.
I mean, your lines are extremely thick there.
They are.
You should just get these extremely small lines and put them all in iteration 1, which will make everything so much easier.
So they only have to affect them in one iteration?
Yeah. If they
I
affect
see.
it in 2, it most of the time kills Bosch, which is not fun.
Yeah, because that's something I wanted with multi-lining in general. Yeah, let me just paste a dozen of these.
Because, well, the multi-line will just be, well, Bosch will get multi-line twice, so one contact points will just go way from Bosch, which most of the time just kills him. So that's not all too fantastic.
Yeah.
When he dies. I'll just quickly wait on ya.
Yeah. So yeah, while I'm doing this, maybe talk a bit about some of the applications of a 10-point cannon.
Well, first of all, they can be done on any frame, in any position, any orientation, whatsoever, and they can do whatever you want.
So,
As you well, we could actually flip Bosch upside down if you want, but we're not gonna do that right now.
sure, yeah. I mean, Aether's had some very interesting uses of a 10-point cannon because unlike if you've seen the Singularity video, then you'll know that singularities often take up more than one frame, so they're kind of like you know kind of when one's coming. But with the 10 PC, you can really do surprising things. That you can teleport Bosch completely in one frame, which can be very good for illusory effects, which I actually made use of in my track Endless, where I managed to kind of fake an extra recycle or two just by using a hidden 10-point cannon.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty sneaky.
Yeah, it was cheeky.
In the technical lab, you can also see most of those teleportations.
Yeah, there's some really good ones in there.
They made that piano kit crash, if I recall correctly. That Omega that I made, that was just one hell of a leg spike.
Yeah, yeah. I think Sheldon told me it took him about a couple of minutes to load that track.
Too bad.
Yep, got to keep up. Okay, so I think I've only got to grab the other hand at this stage. Yeah, there we go. So I've grabbed all the contact points, I think.
You're in iteration 2, though.
Well, yeah, that's because you can't. Well, if you split the hands in one, then they don't split until the second one, right? So you can't really grab them until the second iteration.
Look at my screen.
So how do I? Okay, let's go back then.
Well, just try to do it in iteration 1, because else you'll have to do the hands and feet a whole bunch, or do them later.
I see. See, this is probably why it takes me so long to make 10-point cannons. I'm like misinformed, I guess.
I made too many already.
How do I get both?
mean, we could just look at how many there are in the prototype of well-tempered 10-point cannon. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 44.
I'm not sure that this is gonna split in the first iteration. I mean, look.
Yeah, then we'll just have those feet done later.
Yeah, so we'll stay in the second one then, I guess.
Yeah, just remove those lines for now. Because they'll just get annoying.
Okay.
So now what you want to do is check if which lines here can be multi-lined. So far I've had pretty good luck. I've had 2 that can be multi-lined so far.
I've had none.
Yeah, look, the butt here won't be multi-lined. Which is not too much of a problem. You just have to shift it on its axis and keep on trying. Right now I got it to work, which is great.
I don't think any of mine are working at all. I'm gonna make this line bigger. See if it works now.
You don't have to make them bigger.
Well, look, now it's working though.
Yeah, but if you make them bigger, that's gonna cause some issues. You just have to shift it on its axis. So press Ctrl Shift X, and then just move it up and down.
Well, it literally only affects them in one spot though, unless I zoom in more. But then I
Don't you
won't
have
be able
multi-zoom
to
enabled?
have what, sorry?
Do you have multi-zoom? Yeah.
I mean, that's
Super zoom.
that's as much as I can move it. Like,
You have
it
to shift
literally
it
is
on
only
its
affected there.
y-axis. You don't have to shift it on its x-axis. Ctrl Shift X. Like that. So now you do have to make sure it's being affected. Just press Ctrl C until you get back to the point. There
Okay.
we go.
But look, I think it's easier just to make it bigger.
Just do Ctrl Shift X. And then grab the line and shift it up and down. Which fixes the multi-lining. Yeah, look, on my screen right now, it won't be affected. But once I move it a bit, if I can actually get it to work. Here we go. Now it is being affected by the multi-lining.
Oh, there we go. That's starting to catch. I didn't know you could move. So what does Control Shift X do? Is it just moves it along the like opposite direction of the G well?
Yeah, it moves it with the G well.
Right. That's interesting.
And Ctrl Shift moves it against the G well.
Okay, so I'll set this to whatever, 60, I guess.
I mean, you can do whatever for now. We'll just get to the multi-lining later. You just have to make sure they can be multi-lined.
Okay.
Yeah, look, this is what I love about a modification. You don't have to test the multi-line because you only use one.
Yeah.
Which makes it so much easier to create them. I think I'm done with testing everything.
Okay, I've gotten 2 of them to work.
Yeah, I got all of mine so far. And make sure you don't just do it 2 multi-lines, because sometimes it only breaks on the 3rd and on the 4th. After 4, it's alright.
What if it dies at like 10? Is that okay?
Yeah, you don't need to make sure anything right now.
Okay.
The thing is, if it gets caught in a future iteration, you can most of the times just have the multi-lines. And it will still have the same effect. Or just make bars survive magically. Because multi-lining doesn't affect the iterations of the frame you're working on, only on the next frame.
I got it to work, but he's apparently dead now.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Okay. Oh, there we go. That one was already working. Good.
I most of the times just press OK because it's better.
So what do I do with these feet now? All of them work, but the hands and feet, should I,
Just remove them for now and go to the next iteration.
oh, so don't even bother to split them in this iteration?
No, not in this iteration. If they can't be split, you have to go to the next.
Yeah, I should probably recheck these now. Yeah, that's
They still work in
okay.
other iterations.
So then what do I do next?
Do the same thing, but then with the hands and feet in this iteration. Because now,
iteration
as you can see,
2?
yeah. Because now, as you can see, you can easily split them. Because their contact points are further away from each other. Anyway, with 10-point cannons, you can literally do anything. You can stop rotation. You can teleport. You can flip Bosch upside down. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, 10-point cannons have actually produced probably one of the most interesting tracks I've seen this year. OK by Conundrum.
Yeah. OK is probably the biggest inspiration right now for the well-tempered 10-point cannon track.
Yeah, it's okay.
That was awful.
Hell yeah, boy. All about those terrible memes. Okay, let's see if these.
Henry Mather, the next meme.
Oh yeah, the what's it? The Flappy Boy.
We have Henry Manton, Henry Marglin, and Henry Mather now.
Yep, there's gonna be a Hanimator on this one.
Yay! And 2, she hasn't.
Okay, this does actually work. And that one works. That one does not. Okay.
Do you have hit test enabled?
Yep.
And you can just zoom in extremely much and test the multi-lining, because you will see one of those.
Oh, you can see there's a black behind them sometimes when
Yeah,
it
you
doesn't
can
work.
see
Yeah.
the triangles too.
The
The triangles that stick out from multipliers.
Yeah. Okay, I've just got one more now to get. Just this one.
I'm just gonna quickly put all my multipliers on 3, just so we can speed this up a bit.
Okay, nice. Yep, so I've got them all now.
Alright, now we just have to multi-line, and that's it.
Okay.
So multi-line until you come to the point you wanted.
Okay, I'll set them all to 3 times 50, I guess. Because one thing I've had to do in the past is to make them survive is to kind of like give them differing levels of multi-lining. Probably because I just like messed up the process, I guess.
Now that's because it will get affected in another iteration.
Ah.
So if you know in what iteration it gets affected. So let's say, for example, it gets affected in 3 iterations. You just get the amount divided by 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how I would fix them. I would just like divide them in 2 or whatever. Or 3 or whatever I needed to do.
I once had multi-line that I had to divide by 6 because it literally got affected every iteration. So that was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I got Bosch all fired up.
Yeah,
we got him launched. Hey.
You got a little singularity there.
Yeah, I just did that so I could send him to the top left.
Ah, I see.
I am prepared.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I've done them all now. So I should.
He's dead.
He is indeed. Which is not the best.
Go to the momentum table.
So
Yeah,
it's
as we can see, the
this
front.
one.
No, it's the front. You look this
Oh,
front.
this one.
Yeah, because it gets sent out so much.
Yeah, I guess.
So if you have the multi-lines there, should work. Press OK. And the feet there.
The feet have been affected. Yeah, one of them. I guess it's this one. Let's have a look.
Oh no, test it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, now it works.
Oh, here, look, that other foot gets affected too by that same line.
Yeah, so it got shot forwards. I should probably just put it down a little more because it's probably going to ricochet a bit. Oh, okay, now it's going. Okay, yeah.
No.
There's a sweet spot. Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird multi-line there.
This one's going to need fixing in the next frame, though.
Wait, if you could put down the multi-lining of the other one, like the other one of the feet.
This one.
Yeah. Yeah, look, that one only affects that.
Yeah, there we go.
Smart thinking.
Yes, nice.
And there we go. Now, let's say, for example, right, wash is rotating a bit, and you don't want that. You could reduce the multi-lines of multiple lines here to stop the rotation, or multi-line others. Like, for example, I could multi-line this line in the back, and it will stop the rotation.
Okay.
But for now, I think it's fine. Let me just quickly show off my super deluxe times 25 lines.
Aether TM.
Aha, shameless self-promotion. Look at how thick these are.
Yeah, thick boy.
Let's show these off.
There you go. Okay, we're just adding a shameless plug for anyone that uses LRA and wants to reduce lag. Use these.
Or just wants to get XY red cannons.
Yeah, exactly. Or XY red cannons. These things are possible.
New invention.
All XY singularities tracks are now possible.
They indeed are.
So
shameless self-promotion.
So yeah, if I take off onion skinning here and play it for y'all, there you go. You see how this works, and that, I guess, pretty much concludes this tutorial on the 10-point cannon. We will be returning to showcase some more advanced techniques in another video, but for now, that's everything. Thanks for joining us, Aether.
No problem.
Awesome, and we will see you in the next video.